Disney World has some of the best themed coasters in the entire world. So I have a huge variety of coasters, from kid coasters to family coasters to themed coasters to ones that even coaster heads will love. So naturally, as you know with me, I gotta rank them. Welcome back to JVTV, and here's my Walt Disney World coaster ranking. 9 different coasters to rank here across the parks, and some of them probably won't be a surprise. The top 2 though are the most controversial, I guess, but I have my number 1. Kick off this list though with number 9 with the Barnstormer. The Barnstormer, of course, was going to be in last place and is probably in everybody's last place unless you're under the age of 8. And I respect the Barnstormer. I think it's themed well for a kiddie coaster. I think it fits in Fantasyland. I can see how young kids who aren't ready for the bigger coasters out there absolutely probably love this one. But it is exactly that. It is a kiddie coaster, not designed for me, not designed for anybody really tall. It's a cool first coaster experience. It fits for those really young ones. But outside of that, it's nothing special. It's not super long. It's not super tall. It's not super thrilling. Like I said, it's well themed for New Fantasyland and fits in that area. Outside of that, obviously the Barnstormer, last place on the list. No surprise. I think it's pretty much on everybody's. Let's move on and really get this list going. Now, number 8 is Slinky Dog Dash, one of the most popular roller coasters in Walt Disney World if you just count wait time. Family style roller coaster that takes you around Toy Story Land. Has a little bit of thrills in there, more fun elements for a coaster in this. It definitely is a family friendly coaster. One of my problems with Slinky Dog Dash obviously is the long line, but it does have a long line with a terrible queue. The queue is outdoors with some shade and fans, but that doesn't really cool off, especially in those summer months. It's a hot wait and it's not that exciting. It's not as well themed as Toy Story Mania. There is a theming there, but it's not that well themed. The carts are very cool. Obviously, you're riding in Slinky Dog as you go through there. I think the carts are fine and they look very good. It looks good going around Toy Story Land. It makes sense. But it doesn't have any wow factor to me. Again, when you factor in everything from the wait to the queue to what you get at the end, I think it's a good family-friendly Disney coaster. I just don't think it's anything special and doesn't have anything that sets it apart from the rest of the things on this list, so it slots in at my number 8. Number 7 is one of the most well-themed roller coasters here, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. This is a roller coaster / dark ride. My 2 favorite things at Disney World are roller coasters and dark rides. A family-friendly roller coaster. It is for families there. It's a bit of a long line. However, with Tron dropping off virtual queue, it definitely helped alleviate from that a little bit. I believe it opened in 2014 and it's still very smooth. It's a lot of fun. The carts are very unique here. I really do enjoy the carts here, the way they shake and the way it fits into the mine train. I don't know if you know this, but each cart is individually a little bit different, so it kind of gives it more of that feel of that each cart is designed by like the Dwarfs and actually like handmade. They made each cart just a little bit different. I think that's a very cool thing. The dark ride portion is awesome. Going from outside to dark ride to outside again is very, very cool. I think it's great. The queue, again, is like Slinky Dog, where there's some theming there, but it's not really that extravagant. The queue is fine, and it's a longer wait. Some of it's just outdoors, too, and it can be a hot wait. I do enjoy this ride. I do love the dark ride element. I love the coaster to dark ride feel. I think that's great. It's just not to the coaster level of the things ahead of it. That's why it's this low on the list, but it's still a fun attraction. Just one, also, not a ton of repeatability right now, strictly for the fact that the line is just always so long. Number 6, and I'm interested to see how people are going to feel about this. I'm putting Space Mountain. Space Mountain opened in 1975, and you can absolutely feel that this opened in 1975. The carts on this are brutal. Probably the most uncomfortable carts of them all. I mean, if you're even a little bit tall, I'm average height. If you're even a little bit tall, I can't even imagine being on this thing. The whole thing just feels like 1975. It feels like Walt Disney himself was able to ride this. It's classic. Let's talk about the queue first. So the queue has that nostalgia feel. The soundtrack is awesome. If I have to wait under 30 minutes, I don't mind being in this queue. When I have to wait in that tunnel, yeah, it's a little rough. I don't really love the queue then. But there is some nostalgia there, obviously, for a ride that opened in 1975. Pretty much everybody rode this in their childhood if they came to Disney as a child. Combined with the soundtrack is just, it's fun, but it's not great. The track itself needs a full retracking. It is a rough experience. That's one of my problems with it. It's a longer attraction, which is nice. It definitely is long. And there's some thrills there, especially the third drop catches you very much off guard. I wish there was more space elements of it. There's another space coaster on here, which you'll see, that does space very well for the indoor portion. And Space Mountain in Disneyland does space very well. Not so much here in Disney World. It definitely needs more space elements added to it, more or better and updated effects. This needs a year-long refurb, like how one of the other coasters is getting on here. Full refurb, retrack it, update the effects in there, and I think this could then grow back on the list. I love it, but it's got to be number 6 to me. 5 is Tron Lightcycle Run. This is the most recent coaster, opening in 2023. Now, there's always going to be some weirdness behind the opening that happened in 2023 with Tron, obviously because of the delays with COVID, and then multiple coasters being built at the same time, and they had to open one and kind of hold the other. So it quote-unquote took 5 years to make, even though that was because of the COVID delays and other factors like marketing and stuff, and not opening 2 coasters at the same time. So some weirdness there, so I won't fault it too much, but there definitely is still some feelings of to it. The other con, the big con I already talked about, it is a little short. I definitely think they could have made it longer. I think they could have made that indoor section. There's a lot of space behind there, so don't tell me it's about space. The queue outside right now is still a very long line. Once you're inside the queue, and the reveal is awesome. Right now there's a lot of ropes just going back and forth. That's a shame, but when the line adjusts, the queue is definitely very solid and the reveal is good. I like the locker situation as well. It all kind of works out. The launch is great. Riding this at night is great. How you do have outside, but it's covered so it can operate in the rain because obviously Florida. And the indoor section is good. I just wish it was longer. I think Tron is a great roller coaster. Just higher on your list, I fully understand. It's just a little too short for me. Enjoy the roller coasters ahead of it more. There might be some nostalgia in the next one, but either way, I think the other coasters are just a little bit better. I wouldn't fault you if it's ahead of my number 4. My number 4 is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Now, right now, Big Thunder Mountain for 2025 is undergoing a year-long refurb, a total retracking, new effects getting added. That's awesome. I think this is the perfect family Disney roller coaster. It is long, it is fun, there's some thrill to it, but there's no like big drop. I think some people would probably put that as a con. But there's no big drop here, but the theming and the originality of it can usually get on this, especially later at night, without waiting too long, just kind of breeze through the queue. Doing this during fireworks is very cool as you're going up the hill and you see the fireworks. It feels very Disney to me. Of the Disney family-friendly coasters, I think this is my personal favorite. One that pretty much everybody can get on. Again, I understand if like Tron's ahead of this one for you, but I think from a Disney coaster perspective, this to me deserves to be the best of the family-friendly versions, if that makes sense. And again, just because of the length, how little you can sometimes wait for this as opposed to Tron, I bumped it a little bit up, but I could see those reversing. I could see it in 2. If Space Mountain gets a year-long refurb, I could see it dropping all the way to 6 and Space Mountain moving back up. There used to be 3 mountains, now there are 2, so there's a battle just between mountains, you know, which mountain's better. But right now for me, it's Big Thunder. My top 3, and all these have a solid to big thrill element to them, no surprise. Number 3 for me is Rock and Roller Coaster. Now, elephant in the room. This is going away, technically, kind of, somewhat, sorta, and becoming the Muppets. So the Aerosmith going away, the coaster remains the same. This coaster, it's so much fun. The inversions are obviously the best in Disney World because it's the only one that goes upside down. It's an iconic coaster for studios. I mean, I think everybody probably has a picture in front of that guitar or a picture of the guitar. That's what you think of when you hear Rock and Roller Coaster. You don't even think of probably the roller coaster first. You think of the guitar. The pre-show's solid, funny, and works for what you're doing, but walking out of the pre-show is the best as you see the limo and as you see it launch off. It really gets the hype going. Single rider line. The single rider line absolutely stinks. It does not move well at all. I don't ever recommend the single rider line. It is a pain to wait through, unless it's like early or late in the night. It does have multiple different songs, which I think is cool. I don't think this changes, like the songs I don't think change the experience as much as like a Cosmic Rewind does. Cool that you could potentially get a different song. And it is just thrilling, probably the most intense coaster in Disney World for coaster fans. This might be your number 1. I love it. I'm very interested to see how the Muppets re-theme is going to work. But we'll see. I have high hopes. I have high hopes. Disney's been better about their refurbs recently. We are to my top 2. Obviously, no secret. There's Cosmic Rewind and Expedition Everest left. Okay, and it's a tough battle for me. It really is. And I could see this going either way for people. I would not fault you either way if you have either one of these. But my number 2 is Cosmic Rewind. And I love Cosmic Rewind. It's one of the newer attractions, opened in 2022. This opening in 2022 hurt Tron because this coming before Tron set such high expectations because Tron started construction before that, and this ended up being so much better. I love Cosmic Rewind. The queue, once you get inside, is very good. I love an indoor queue with air conditioning. because the lines get so long, sometimes you are waiting outside, but the majority of the queue is in there. The pre-show, first time doing it, I thought it was awesome. Now I hate the pre-show, and it's not really the pre-show's fault. I have been going more and more where the pre-show is broken, so the whole teleportation doesn't really work well. But it's just how everybody acts during the pre-show, the way people scream out alcoholics or day drinkers or whatever during the first section of the pre-show. And then you get to the second section of the pre-show, and everybody just rushes that right side to the door and doesn't even enjoy the pre-show. It really kind of ruins it for me. I'd love to eventually get into just a queue system that keeps it going, and you kind of walk through the pre-shows as they're happening. I guess the teleportation wouldn't really work, but I think they could redo that eventually. A bit of a backup sometimes before you even get to the coaster. So there's like, the pre-show happens and you're like, oh man, we gotta board these escape pods now, and now you're gonna wait another 10 to 15 minutes to get on them though. Sometimes it moves well, sometimes it doesn't. The ride itself though, unbelievable. 6 different songs. I think 5 out of 6 of them are very good. Disco Inferno, I don't enjoy at all on the ride. But I think each of them do give definitely a different ride experience. The ride experience you get with Everybody Wants to Rule the World is different than the one you get with September, is definitely different than the one you get with Conga, and so on and so forth. So I think they really do adjust to make it a different ride experience. It's very smooth, it's very fun. It does twist and turn and can induce some motion sickness, but I don't think it's too bad. If you do get motion sickness, I recommend, again, let the ride take you where you're supposed to look. A lot of times you're on the ride and you're like doing this and this as the car's turning. Let the ride take you. That's my number one tip if you get motion sickness. But this does space right. Remember we talked about Space Mountain? I want a better space effect in that roller coaster. This does space very, very well. You definitely feel like you're in there going around Earth and the moon, and just all the stars and everything like that. There are some gaps where the screens are very visible or it's just kind of, you know, black and boring up there, theming wise, but it is pretty dark. You don't really notice it. I notice these things because I do it so many times. So that's the reason why. I think the queue too, once you're inside, moves very well. It's very efficient as long as both sides open. So this is a great roller coaster. It's a great attraction. If it's your number one, I don't fault you. My number one still in the coaster rankings and my favorite attraction in Walt Disney World is Expedition Everest. This to me is the best attraction. It is a master class in storytelling. From the queue, boarding the ride, going through the ride. It is just awesome storytelling, and it's an original story. There's no IP attached to it. It opened in 2006, and it's still in the conversation as one of the best roller coasters, not in Disney World, in Orlando, in all of the Disney parks. It's still one of the best coasters. It's awesome. There is a great thrill element to it, but I still think a good amount of people can do it because there's no inversions, and the drop isn't as tall as you would think. It goes forward, it goes backwards. It's awesome. It's just so good. It's long. The one thing you're saying is, but Josh, the Yeti, I get it. The Yeti, if the animatronics still worked, would be absolutely awesome. I still think with how big and massive it is and how quick you go by it, the payoff is still there because obviously the whole attraction, you're building up to this Yeti, building up to this Yeti, building up to this Yeti. I still think the payoff is very solid there. The queue is one of the best on property. The ride itself is one of the best on property. Still smooth, still fun. It's to me the best coaster when you combine, especially in Disney World. I absolutely love Expedition Everest. I think it's great. It's one of the best original attractions out there. That's my Disney coaster rankings, so please let me know in the comments. I want to hear your coaster rankings. I think probably my biggest prediction would be people have Cosmic above Everest, where they disagree there, and then I think people could have Tron higher. Out of that, or Space too, but outside of that, I think we'll have similar lists, but I'm interested to hear yours as always. For those of you that watch all my videos, I 100% appreciate you. Thank you for doing that. I want to give you guys a heads up. I know I've missed some Sundays and I've kind of hit the past couple. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to miss the next 2 Sundays. I'm going to schedule the misses there. It is the last 2 weeks of Halloween Horror Nights, and I definitely would love to just go there and not have to worry about filming in the morning or having a camera on me. I'm just going to enjoy those last 2 weekends here at Halloween Horror Nights because you know I just love it. I'll be here every Thursday for sure. But I probably will skip the next 2 Sundays so I don't have to worry and can, again, just enjoy some time because as much as I love posting, it's my favorite thing to do and making videos. I still want to enjoy the theme parks and always have that love and never lose that love for it. And some of the best ways to do that is without a camera. And number 2, I want to keep getting better at this. I don't want to put out bad videos and waste your guys' time. So I want to make sure the videos I do, I actually put the effort in there and it's worth it. It's not just something completely thrown together. No Sunday videos just for the next 2 weeks. just so I can enjoy Halloween Horror Nights and enjoy that. And you guys enjoy your Halloween as well. I will see you next Thursday.